Guys, I'm really excited for tonight. I'm going to give this Zoom a really quick intro on like why I'm excited about where we are right now, why I've asked these two ladies to come on, and I think it's just going to be fire. We haven't planned anything because, you know, we like to roll with the flow. What's like go with the flow, roll with the flow? Who knows? Anyways, really excited for what's going on. Put it in the chat how long you've been a part of It Works for. You know, I'm Jackie. If we haven't met before, I see some new faces on here. So I've been doing this business for 6.5 years, which is crazy to think about. And you know, it's just with everything that's in the last 6 years, like not even just business, right? Do we just all like, who agrees that it's been crazy? This is water, by the way. I know I was going to cheers like it was something better. It's just water in my Stanley. It's my third one today. But I don't know if you guys can feel it, but just this shift with everything that's going on, I'm excited. I think everything that we've brought back, building for ranks. Oh my gosh, if you guys see me looking super tanned, you'll know that there's a self tanner. That is like what I want. I'm fighting for that. Okay. I am doing my DIY self tanner, defining gel and self tanner. You heard it here first. Okay. Mix those two together. You're going to tighten yours. That was $1 million hack right there. So if you weren't listening, wake up. Okay. Because that's the best thing that you can do. Self tanner and a little bit of defining gel. Anyways, there's been a lot of excitement and changes and things. And so the reason why I wanted to have Lyndsey and Renae on tonight, first of all, they are both brand new diamonds as of last month. So give them some shout out, some love in the chat. If you guys don't know, Diamond is the top 1% or 2% of our company. It's a full-time income. For any of you guys that are like, hey, I'm money driven, you guys, Diamond is the rank where you can unlock the compensation plan. And if you're here to make a full-time income, you know, Diamond is where you want to go. Okay. So historically, the slowest months of the year, we have Lyndsey and Renae who just promoted to Diamond. But not only that, this is actually both their second time around in the business, which is super interesting and exciting. So we're going to kind of go back and forth tonight. I'm so pumped that we're doing this. And guys, if you have questions, make sure you throw it in the chat. So I spotlighted Renae. I was going to go Lynn's first. Whoopsie daisies. Let's just all stare at Renae. No pressure. Everyone look at Renae. Okay, everyone look at Renae. Just joking. Okay, sorry. I feel like, you know, sometimes you just got to do it. Okay, anyways, really excited. So Lynn's, in 3 minutes or less, let's say 3 to 5 minutes, give us your story, everything that kind of led you here.
Are we starting with me? Can you guys hear me okay?
Here, I'm going to spotlight myself too, because I was nodding and then I realized you couldn't see me. Yeah, we're starting with you.
Okay, so my story is really long, but I'm going to shorten it as much as I can for you guys. I originally found this business scrolling on Facebook over 8 years ago. Somebody did a host post about the wraps, and it was so long ago, the host post wasn't even a thing. We called it a bunny post because the results multiply. And I saw the wraps. I scrolled past it because I was like, that doesn't work. Like, there's no way. I'm somebody who came from like a fitness background. My mentality was, there's nothing that can do that but diet and exercise, right? So I scrolled past it, but I have 2 kids. So I went back and I went, what if it does work? And I actually ordered the wraps to prove they didn't work. I just wanted to say, I tried them, they didn't work, we're good, right? Got them, tried one, didn't tell my husband, got incredible results, but I didn't take a before picture. That's how skeptical I was. So always take a before picture. And my husband told me, every single mom you know is gonna want these. You need to, I'm okay with you ordering more, only if you do the business. And I wanted nothing to do with that, you guys. I've done another business in the past, and it was something that was very much like party based. You had to carry a bunch of inventory, and I'm an introvert. I'm shy. I wanted to be home with my kids more. I didn't want to be away from them more. So party based stuff, not my jam. So I wanted nothing to do with the industry. I wanted nothing to do with the business. I just wanted to get the wraps, honestly. And if that was the only way I could do it, then I was going to do it. So I signed up for the business. My original enroller plugged me into one group, got together with me in person once, airdropped me her entire notes section and said, this is everything you need to know. Go be successful. And I went, I'm done. I'm out. That's it. I'm out because it's too much. Right. And thankfully she had plugged me into that one group, and she had told me 3 people within the company to follow. And it was corporate. And so what I did was I kind of started following the people that were on there that were posting, or that corporate was posting about, tagging them, people that were having success. And I started following these people, and all of a sudden, my newsfeed went from people that were super negative and complaining and finding everything wrong in the world to this overwhelming positivity and hope and inspiration and like learning to dream bigger. And it completely changed my life before I even started making money, honestly. And the reason I stayed with the business was the community. It was the unique experience we get here of hope where you can't get it from anywhere else, right? And so I did the business for 6 years. And in that time, my enroller left, her enroller left, her enroller left, everybody left. Everybody left. Jackie and I were the original rock stars from back in the day. We're like the only two still standing, I feel like. And in 2021, after a year of COVID, we'd gone through almost losing my dad. We had gone through homeschooling our kids. I'd lost 2 of my favorite cousins. And my world just felt like it was crumbling. And I went, something needs to give. And my husband pulled me aside and he said, Lindsey, I know how much you love your business, but it's not really making you much money. And you're falling apart. Like, you're putting everything into this business because it's making you happy, but the rest of our life is falling apart. And he's like, you need to take a break. And I said, okay, that's fine. I'll take a break. I just won't do much. And he goes, no, you need to shut it down because I know you and you're too obsessed with this business. You won't not work it. And so we had this big talk and I shut my business down. And it was the hardest decision, you guys, because I have always loved the company. I've always loved the products, but I wasn't having success and I hadn't had success. It took me over 3 years to hit Ruby, and I literally did it all by myself. I didn't have anybody working. And when I shut my business down, it gave me a break to just breathe and get my head together and figure out that I really needed to be here. And this company is my home, you guys. The second I closed my business, I cried for probably 3 days straight because I went, what did I just do? But I knew it was the right decision because I knew that if I was going to be part of this, I needed to be part of it with the right people. I needed to be part of something where I had support and I had the community and I had guidance and I had other people that were actively having success. It's great if somebody had success 10 years ago, but you need people that are actively building and doing the things in the trenches with you that are going to teach you what is working for them right now, right? And I had been following Krista. I don't even know when I started following her. We had randomly met at one event years and years and years ago. I don't remember meeting her. She doesn't remember meeting me, but we do have a picture together from there. So there's proof. And right around the time that I shut my business down, out of nowhere, she starts popping up in my Instagram stories like crazy. All I kept seeing was Krista. And it was like her posting about Disney, which my family is obsessed. It was her posting about her faith, which is a huge part of my world too. Lots of things that I just connected with. And I went, I don't know why this person is in my face all the time, but I feel like she's meant to be like my best friend. It was the funniest, most random thing. And I remember reaching out to her and saying, okay, I have to take a break from my business. I took a break, but I think I might want to come back in a few months. And if I do, can I join with you? Like, she was like, yeah. And I was missing the products already. It had been like 2 weeks and I was feeding for the products. I was like, I need my collagen now. So I started back on the products. And keep in mind, my business was closed. I was still posting about the products without even realizing it. I remember posting something and it was just a cute cup with my collagen in it and a picture of the deck. And I had 5 people message me going, where do I get the collagen? And I went, dang, I used to be able to help you get that. And I just knew like I needed to be back in here when the time was right and when my family was kind of ready for it. And it was so perfect timing because I needed that break for myself, but it also gave me a chance to go and do my due diligence. I looked at a bazillion other opportunities in network marketing and out, and I went, okay, what is the best fit for like checking the boxes on my list? I needed to be home with my kids. I needed to bring in a good income. I needed the community, like all the things. And I can tell you guys, I talked to people from so many different companies. I looked at so many compensation plans. There is nothing like what we have here. Nothing. There are companies that will tell you it's just like here, and it's not, right? There's nothing like it works. And so the second I knew I was ready, I came back in, I reached out to Krista, I said, okay, I'm ready, let's do it. And my first month back in, I signed 16 customers and 7 distributors in 20 days, 100% using the Diamond Tribe systems, you guys. I literally just jumped on every power hour Jackie hosted, every Zoom, every training, and I said, I will do whatever I'm told to do. And so that was 2 years ago. So I did all of the things for 2 years, but I also did all the growing. And I knew the second I knew what Ambassador Diamond meant back in the day, I said, that will be me one day. Not because I want the money, but because I want to be able to change that many people's lives. I want to be able to help that many people and be able to stand there and say, oh my gosh, like, because like for me to get here, look at how many people are home with their families. Look at how many people are debt free. Look at how many people don't have to worry about medical bills now. Look at how many people don't have to worry about losing their house, whatever it is, right? And my vision with the business is different from some people's. My vision is legacy. I want to leave something that when I'm not here one day, my kids can take it over, right? I want something that is for my family and that is tangible and that is going to last forever. And if it takes me 15 years to get Ambassador Diamond, I don't care. That's a lot of money a month. I'm totally happy to work for 15 years to make that, because any other job that I would be working, there's no way I would ever make that much, right? And so that's my perspective. And so we hit Diamond, and I have a Coach bag. It's actually on a shelf over there. I have a Coach bag that I bought you guys after an event in 2018, and it sat on my shelf until the end of last month because it was my Diamond reward gift, because I thought I was going to hit Diamond back then and I didn't. And it sat there, and I finally got to break it out. And you guys, I have to tell you, the best thing about hitting Diamond for me was not, oh, I'm Diamond. It was that bag, finally getting to use that bag. And it was seeing my team win. It was seeing the people on my team win that led to the Diamond promotion, because it was a team effort. And best thing that's ever happened to my family. Sorry, that was long.
No, I love it. That's good. You guys put your, like, there's a couple things you said. I want to say like aha moments. Put your aha moments in the chat. You know, a couple things I hear is like, you know, the dedication to see something through, the time spent. There's lots of it. Very powerful. So, okay, we're going to circle back. Renae, tell us your story, how you got here. I laugh because I know how she got here. Me and Renae have been through every stage together, so I know. But tell everyone else.
Legit, it's so crazy. I'm like, oh my gosh, this story is actually really interesting. So I met Jackie like 6 jobs ago before I joined It Works the first time in 2017. We met doing a charity thing, and then she got a job at a warehouse, and I followed her to the warehouse, and then she got a job at TELUS. I followed her to TELUS, and then she went to a new dealership in TELUS. I followed her to that dealership in TELUS. And then she moved to Kamloops, and I was all alone making money without her. And she was like, I've got this baby. I want to stay home. Like, I'm looking at things like, do you want to do this thing with me? And it wasn't It Works. It was a different company. It was like a flash in the pan, because a week later, she's like, actually, I have a different thing. And I'm like, okay, well, we've come this far. What are we doing? You know, and she's like, we're doing this. And so I signed up for It Works. And I think, you know, just looking back at that time in my life, like, what was it that allowed me to quit on myself so easily? It was that I didn't understand what I was quitting, and I didn't understand what I had my hands on. Because when you hear Jackie's story, you know that she watched the woman who she signed up with for like 3 years and watched all of her wins and watched it unfold in front of her, and it gave her a vision of what could happen for herself. But I actually didn't have that. I literally just had like, we can make money over here, right? And so I gave up on myself way too easily. I actually got distracted by another company, I think at the end there when I was frustrated, and I had jumped from like a couple different companies until I kind of just like started to think I was going to be like the one to come up with my own business. And then I like, you know, started like trying to like come up. I just did a bunch of different stuff. And everything just didn't fit. It didn't fit for a couple of reasons. Like inventory is a really big killer. If you've ever tried to venture out and make your own company, you realize like, wow, like inventory is a killer. And so I circled back around after traveling. I'd gone to Thailand, and I was like very aware that like people were traveling and not like, you know what I mean? Like, how are you here? Like I was asking people at the hostels, like, what are you doing here? I ran into a lot of like subcontractors. And really just like when I got back, I was like looking around thinking, I don't want to be in this shop anymore. Like I was working at a cell phone place that did repairs, and I was just like, man, like I don't want to be here. And my manager at the time had purchased coffee from a It Works rep and had brought it to work. And I'm literally drinking the coffee in this place I don't want to be, looking through the screen. And it was a post that Jackie had made about being able to be home. She didn't have to ask for time off when her family came to see her from the coast. And she was able to be there, and she didn't have to call and say, hey, can I do this? Can I do that? And the job that I had at the time, I very much had to ask my boss for anything. He was the other person who picked up the weight when I wasn't there. I was like running a shop, right? I was doing for him what any business owner would do minus the paycheck, right? And so I just like, I realized, I'm like, I didn't even know what I quit before. Like, what would be the harm in me coming back? Like, why did I make it such a thing that like, it was so hard to come back? Why did it take so long? Until eventually I was like, you know what? I've got nothing to lose. And I just said yes. And like, this is my year 4 going diamond is year 4. It's not to say like, oh, it's going to take you 4 years to go diamond. Like time does not matter in this business. It's what your effort is. It's your level of show up. It's your level of consistency. It's your, what do you do when your back's against the wall? Like you, sometimes it takes a little bit to work through those things that allow you to step into the version of yourself that you need to become diamond, you know? And it's a decision. I've come close lots of times where I've like thought that I figured it out, and something in my personal life always interferes. And it's because I've always allowed it, until one day I just decided like, it wasn't going to be the thing that stopped me from being successful. It was going to be the thing that was the reason I was successful. And here we are in Penticton. I've literally moved to a small town with this business the month I went diamond, and it's just really incredible. It's really incredible.
Dang, it's so cool to like hear this and see this. And you know, it's crazy because I think a lot of people get really caught up in that time served, you know, and it's just, you're correct. Like it's not the time, it's what you do within it. And it's also your attitude and perspective through it. And so I'm going to kind of go back and forth. I kind of have specific questions for both of you and like what I want to like talk about here, because I think there's so much value in everything you guys have gone through. I'm going to jump to Lyndsey, tell us if somebody was like, okay, I want to go diamond right now. To go diamond, you need customers, you need distributors. Okay. My question for you is, what would you, if you could give someone a list to like, do these things, you're going to get customers consistently, do these things, and this is how you're going to enroll distributors. Give us a few tips for both. And then I'm going to jump back to Renae.
Yeah. So the first thing that I always teach my team is your 6 list. And this is old school. So some people that are around now might not even know what this is, but it's the basics of what to do for your business. Posting, messaging, interacting with your network, following up, personal development. Did I say adding to your network? Posting, messaging, adding to your network, interacting, following up, personal development. So it's 6 things that you just do over and over and over. And the key is, the more success you want to have and the faster you want to grow, you just do more of them in a day, right? So instead of sending 10 messages, you send 20 or 50 or whatever you need to send. And with signing customers, it's conversation, right? And however you get in those conversations, whatever works for you. It can be talking to people. I was at, I actually get Botox in my jaw, so I was there 2 days. So if you see bruises, that's why. But I was sitting down, and the girl who was kind of getting me ready, we started talking about migraines, and I told her what had helped me with mine. And I told her the importance of like healing your gut. And she said, oh, how did you do that? So I told her about our products, and she's ordering products. Like it's having conversations, it's host to post, but it's also reaching out to people. It's also posting consistently. It's also building those relationships so that when people feel comfortable reaching out to you, they're going to do it. Right. And it's for newbies, my biggest thing is get in the habit of doing all of the things. Jackie and I both call it the circle of life. I think we both started calling it that separately, but it fits, because if you're not, it's like a wheel. If you're not doing all of the parts of it, if you take off one part of the wheel, it falls apart, right? You have to be talking to people, but then you have to be posting so that when you message them, they look back and they go, oh, okay, she's not hacked. She's actually, this is her, what she's doing, right? You have to be growing your network so you're not talking to the same 10 people all the time. And so my thing with newbies is not so much sign as many customers as you can fast. It's get in the habit of doing the things, because we're building residual income and we're building a platform that you're going to build on, where even if you don't sign 10 customers this month, you're going to be able to sign customers every month going forward and be confident teaching your team to do that, if that makes sense.
Totally. And the circle of life, you guys, it's literally the best way to describe this business, or like think about it as a recipe. Like how we've built over the last 6 years has changed. You know, back in the day, I mean, I was saying this to Krista with a K yesterday, we were talking about Instagram, and I'm like, man, growing on Instagram back in the day was like, we didn't have reels. It was like putting our phone on. I put my account on private. I would follow a bunch of people and interact with them in hopes that they would add me back times every day, always. And, you know, now we have it easier because we have reels and happen all these things. But the point is if you want to be successful in this business, everything runs together. Without posting, if you were to message someone, so like think about like posting, messaging, growing your network, following up, learning, okay, all these things, circle of life. If you're posting and you're not messaging, those people that you're not messaging are probably never going to see your posts. If you're messaging like crazy, but you're not posting and branding yourself, they're going to be like, what are you doing? Go to look at your page. You're probably hacked. If you're not growing your network, but you're posting and you're messaging, you're running into a wall. If you're not developing your mind, you're going to talk yourself out and quit before we even get started, because you're mentally not like I was going to say mentally not stable, but I don't think you can say that today. I was going to say that was a joke. Don't worry. If anyone could joke like that, it's me. Okay. But I'm just saying that was the wrong term. I'm really doing this a lot lately. I'm saying the worst examples and I'm like, don't say that. If you're not personally developing your business mindset, you're not going to be at the capacity to grow it. Oh my gosh. I can only see 4 faces and they're laughing. So hopefully everyone else is laughing too. Okay. Anyways. Okay. That was awesome. So Renae, question for you. Okay. So we've talked about what to do. We've talked about the daily tasks. We know we have to post, message, grow your network, follow up, learn. Renae and I had a conversation while she was building to Diamond. And she said, you know, I just had this realization that going, and guys, drop a 1 if this is you. You're maybe at Ruby or you're at Emerald and you're like, I'm trying to go Diamond. There's a block. I can't get there. Maybe you've hit Diamond in the past and you've fallen and you're trying to get back to Diamond. She said, what I realized was going from Ruby to Diamond was a complete shift. And so I want you to talk about what that shift looked like to you in the terms of you and your action, your leadership, like just take it away, all the things.
Okay. So I basically had some shifts in my personal life where like I had to figure it out. There was now like, once you figure out your why, you, like she said, you know, all the things, it really comes down to what's your daily tasks? Where's your chart? Who are your people, right? You got to know little things that make you a good leader. Who are you tagging when the lives come up? Who are you sharing them to? Who's your launch? Who's new in your business that needs you the most? Who needs you to come up and teach them how to be a leader? Who needs you to come up and say, this is how we chart? Who needs you to really just like, you need like having it with you? Like, who's your promotions? Are they showing up at a level that will actually let this promotion happen for them? Right? How are you being a leader? And there's all these different layers that comes to it. And really it started with just like deciding, now I need to make sure that this is happening for me and I can't rely on everybody else. So I need to make sure that I'm prepared to do it all. And if I get 20% out of my team, that's amazing. But if I'm going to be doing 80%, where am I placing my people once I get them? Where am I placing my DTs once I get them? You know, and really, if you don't have that chart in front of you, you won't get there. Like I'd love to sugarcoat it and say like, you know, if you just show up every day and you do those 6 things, like, and you just plug in these, you have no chart, you'll get it. It's not a thing. Okay. If you can not get to diamond without a chart, it really will just save you time. It will save you time because you'll cut the ish with yourself and you'll pull out a diamond chart. Right. And like, you got to know where your 400 boxes are and what they got to look like. And really just like realizing that the people who haven't decided to do this for themselves need you to do it for yourself so that they can do it for themselves. Like, if you don't want to pick up your chart and you don't want to be that person, like, how is the next person going to know, oh, I better have my chart in front of me? Like, what are we doing? Right. When they get a sale, like, you know, you got to like update your chart, right? It's a team thing. And then realizing, you know, when you become diamond, you've got an emerald in there and you've got 3 rubies in there who are also just behind you, right? They're just learning how to do the same thing. So you really just have to turn around and share it and teach it. And charting is where it's at. You've got to chart. You've got to chart.
You know, I like when I hear you talk, it really clicked for me when we were having this conversation whenever this was. And it's just successful people. And I don't even like if you're successful in what you do, you know, let's say building to diamond, like whatever it is, you take ownership. And I feel like so many of us like don't take ownership because it's easier to like not take ownership, but it's easier to, okay, what am I trying to say? Like, for example, building to diamond, drop a 2 in the chat if you agree with what I'm about to say. Okay. But don't put 2 yet because I didn't say it. I hate that. I'm like, you don't even know what I'm going to say. I could say something so weird now and then you look weird. Okay. So listen, just joking. What was I going to say? Oh, people feel they can't show up because they're not a leader. You know what I mean? Like, I remember being an executive when my upline left. Okay. And I was like, dang, like, or I probably wasn't even I was probably a distributor, and thinking like, okay, no one's going to do this but me. There was nobody to put it off onto. There was no saying, oh, just go follow Jackie or like, just go do this. You have to think of it like the person that has partnered with you, they're not here for me. They're not here for Renae or Lyndsey or Krista. They are here because they've trusted you. And so you have to ask yourself, if I were to lead by example right now, even though I'm not where I want to be yet, I'm not a diamond yet, but in order for me to be a diamond, I have to start showing up like a diamond. And so, you know, seeing people like making their own training videos and like not having to reinvent the wheel, guys, we have the wheel already laid out. But I believe that being a good distributor and a good leader isn't telling people what to do. It is you making the decision to go first, regardless of what anybody else is doing around you. And then not saying do, it's I'm doing, let me show you how. Here's my task list. Here's how I posted. And that's really what I see with this, you know? And so you see the shift in it. So talk to us about, so I'm going to ask a follow-up question, then I'm going to go back to Lyndsey. You know, you're like queen of content, you guys. If you're not following Renae, like she is enrolling a ton of people. Okay. So talk to us about your strategy, how you're finding most of your people, where are your enrollments coming from? Is it HAP? Is it Reels? And then just kind of talk to us a little bit about that.
Okay, so I have the same game plan basically when it comes to expanding my network and finding like-minded people. It is to niche down in videos, have X amount that are supposed to go up day, and then host a post, because I just want my videos to grab attention and bring people in. But my sales and my conversations really do come from host to post. Everything that I post, whether it's a picture on Facebook, Instagram, anything, it's either going to be, my goal is to attract people who are like-minded, to people to see who I am, to relate to me, or to share my stuff, right? Like, I want it to work for me in the best way possible. And like, I think just lately I've realized like the best way that I can do that is like tell a story, talk to the camera, like you can say so much when you tell a story and you choose how you place your face and you choose how quick you say it and you choose what you talk about and you choose, you know, like how much value you bring. And it's just so much easier when you just like are yourself, but with the thought process of how is this of value to the person listening And or can it be shared into somebody else's network so they can find value? So like, what would be a good example of that? Recipes, how-to, hacks, 3 things I learned about, a funny meme that has already gone off, like a tweet that you see reoccurring all the time through social media. Like there's hacks, like you're just trying to make them think about you in a way that's not like telling them what to do, but it's like in a way that makes them see themselves in you so that they can make the decision that they should make. And that's to do what you're doing.
It's so true. Like this is, I feel like this is the breakthrough so many people need. How do you feel, like, how many of you feel, okay, I'm a Knitworks girl, or a Knitworks guy, or whatever. Okay, I'm a Knitworks person, and I gotta talk about coffee. I gotta talk about this. I gotta talk about this, and like all the products. And then you're like, I'm talking about the products, but I'm not getting any exposure, right? Anybody? 3 in the chat. That's you. I heard Kirsty Christensen say it so simply today. This is how she's like, I teach my team to do this. I'm not putting a ton of reels for product on my page. She's like, I teach my team to do lifestyle reels, meaning your niche, like Renae said. And you guys, whoever you are on here, just so you know, if you're like, well, I didn't just move to a small town. No, who you are is good enough, perfect as you are. There is an interest, you got something weird about you, put it in the chat. Tell me what it is. What's the weird thing about it? You're like, oh my gosh, nobody can know about this. What is it? I know some of you are eating your macaroni and cheese with mustard or something. I don't know. And there's going to be a group on Facebook for that. Okay. So you have to go. It's like people have exited the chat. Just joking. If you do that, it's time for you to go. Macaroni and cheese and mustard. You got to go. There's no rules here except for that. Okay. That's just a no. But you have to like get into like the niche down market and have that be your content. Now, how do you monetize? You eat pierogies with ketchup? Okay, we're gonna let that one slide. I can see it. I can see it. But eggs and ketchup, you guys know. Eggs and ketchup. Okay, we're not doing that around here. I will burn that house down. Just joking. But you have to find the niche of yourself and then brand that in your content. And then you can hit them with the stories and the opportunity, that content in your stories. Now, before I jump back to Lyndsey, I'm going to share my screen with you guys. I want you guys to take note of what I'm going to do, what I'm going to show you right now. I don't know if Tammy or Sherry's on here, but this is a strategy. So for those of you guys that are like, how can I create content? How can I create posts? I want you to watch my page right now, because we went over this on a one-on-one call today. You guys can use ChatGPT to literally create you a full, okay, give me some niches in the chat. Give me some. Give me something about you where you're like, okay, I'm obsessed with alligators. Okay. So I want you guys to watch this. I want you to watch this. Okay. I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to go here and I'm going to go, I'm on ChatGPT. So, or whatever you say. So chat.openai.com, just that's your browser. I'm a content creator looking for video ideas and post ideas to bring value to my network. I want ideas within my niche that is funny, of value, and interactive. Okay. One of my niches is I love alligators. You know what? Me too. Not chasing me though. That would be scary. I love alligators. Please give me 10 different content. I know I'm spelling things wrong, but we don't have the time. Please give me 10 different content ideas around this subject. And you can also say, also include the captions for each post. I like to say, please write longer captions to rank high on SEO. That just means search engine optimization, which it's like Google. So the more words in here, the better. Okay, so please write longer captions to rank high on SEO. Done. So here is where it's going to give you your content. Okay. Fun fact Fridays. Did you know that alligators been around for over 150 million years? That's older than some of our classic jokes. You can make that a reel. And now you have the caption. It's time to bust some gator myths, from swamp tales to misconceptions. Okay, love that one. So I could say, I'm just showing you guys how this works. Then we're going to move back on. Please elaborate on number 2. What are 5 crazy facts about the gators? Okay, because I'm not trying to learn facts about alligators. We don't have time for that. I want the robot to tell me. Okay, here we go. So scrolling down, here are some 5 facts. Actually, you know what? This is my niche now. I like alligators. I'm just joking. Like these are my content. These are mine. Okay, gator sneezing. Okay, alligators don't sneeze. Gator. Okay, you guys get the point. Okay, so this type of stuff is how you can create content to give value to your network, where the issue is you don't know what to do. It's an exposure problem. Okay. And sorry, one more thing before I get back to Lyndsey. Well, it's my head. Write down the book right now on Audible, 10X Mentor by Grant Cardone. There's a chapter in this where he talks about your problem isn't that you don't know what to do. It's not that you don't know how to post. It's not that you don't know how to do this. It's that nobody knows you're there. Nobody even knows you have a business. You need exposure. Okay, Lynn, back to you. So talk to us about your flow of like signing a customer. So right now, like, is your biggest way to sign customers? I know you do lives. Is it Hap? Like, how are you getting these customers?
So for me, 98% of my customers and distributors come into my network from Hap. That being said, they don't all order right away, right? So I'll sign a customer who, for example, I had a girl message me yesterday about hair growth, because I'm going hard on the hair growth because the results from all these new hair products are insane. And she messaged me, and when I scroll back, we connected years ago through Host to Post. She never ordered. She completely ghosted me every time I followed up. So I moved to Host to Post, and then we just became Facebook friends. And so I'm really big on building relationships with people. I'm really big. Interacting is probably what I spend the bulk of my time on in a day. And then every post that I do is intended to, like Renae said, bring some sort of value, whether it's something that's going to put a smile on somebody's face, or something that's going to let them into my world a little bit, or the products, or a hack, whatever it is, it's meant to bring value so that people feel connected to me. And so most of my customers are people that originally I met through Hap, who ended up either seeing content and reaching out, me following up bazillions of times, or me reaching out to people. And I have no problem at this point in my business reaching out to people. I used to be terrified about it, but I have no problem now with reaching out to somebody and saying, hey girlfriend, I don't know if you've been interested, but we have this collagen supplement that I'm obsessed with. This is why I love it. Can I send you the details? If not, no worries. Right? That is no pressure. If they come back and they say, yes, please, I'm sending them info. If they say no, I'm like, no worries. Do you know anybody that might be interested? Like, I'm constant. And if they say no, I'm like, no worries. Would you be up for sharing a post with me? I'm constantly cycling through. No is never no to me. No is always, okay, let's pivot. What else can we go for? Right? Eventually, they're either going to share a post for me, order products, buy my team, or unfriend me. And I'm good either way.
No, it's true. Like, there's when you think of this business as farming, like so many people, they run, like, picture this, right? You join the business. You run out to your empty field where you haven't planted any crops. You've just prepared the soil and you plant a bunch of seeds. And then they're like, where's the growth, right? But there's so many people that miss the cycle of like, hey, you plant the seed, you attend to the seed. And by attending the seed, I mean your consistency. Like, Lynn's touch on, like, let's talk about this. Actually, this is kind of a follow-up question, because I feel people don't understand the power of consistency. Because consistency doesn't mean when it's convenient. To me, and guys, put your definition of consistency in the chat. For me in business, it means my goals don't change. My actions are you know what I mean? Like, that's what will change. And I know that not doing it won't keep me at the same level. It's actually going to bring me backwards. You're never coasting in business. You're either moving forward or you're dying. Okay. So with with you watching like Krista be consistent, like you watched Krista forever, explain to people that might be new, like hey, some days you're going to feel like it's not working, but I wouldn't recommend stop posting, because there could be a Lyndsey Cowell lurking in the sidelines waiting to see, is that someone I'm going to do business with? So talk about your like the importance of that.
Yeah. So consistency is the number one key. If you want to be successful at anything in life. There was a quote by Craig Rochelle, and I heard it years ago, and it's literally on Post-it notes around my house. And it says, successful people do consistently what normal people do occasionally. And I look at it like this. How many people here have had a job, like a regular, like punch a time clock, show up for a job? Drop a 1 if you've ever had a job. Everybody has, right? Now, do you go to that job when you're in the mood to go? Do you go to that job when you're excited for it? No, you go every single day, and you don't go because you want to go to work necessarily. You don't go because you love that job. You went to that job because your goal was to pay your bills, to pay this, to buy this, whatever it was, right? You're consistent with showing up for your job to have the lifestyle you want. And this is no different, right? And I mean, it's no different than, where are my parents at? Do we want to feed our kids and make our kids food every time they're hungry? No. But we do it because we're consistent with doing it to keep our kids alive, right? Like the basics of everything in life from the time we're a baby is consistency, right? When you're teaching your baby how to walk, how do they learn? Do they try sometimes when they're in the mood? No, you get them to try all the time and consistently. And eventually they're going to walk, and then eventually they're going to run, and eventually they're going to take over the world and be like, build empires, right? Like you have to be consistent in everything you do if you want to have success. And it's just like we talk to our clients about, our customers, is when you order a product, if you want results, you have to take it consistently, right? If you want to lose 30 pounds, you have to use the product consistently. You have to eat right consistently. You have to get active. You have to drink your water consistently, right? And the business is exactly the same. If you want success, it's not, oh, I was in the mood to show up today, so I did a little bit, and maybe tomorrow I might do this, but I forgot today, so no big deal. Like if you want results and you're committed to what you invested in when you started this business, which is not this business, you invested in yourself and your dreams, right? If you're committed to wanting that life for your family, do it, right? Don't let your mood or whatever somebody else is saying or doing or not getting the results you wanted that day throw you off. Show up consistently and build it, and eventually you'll get there. And you might not get there in the time span you want. I didn't expect to take 8 years to get to diamond, right? But I know that my journey led me to where I am now and to where I'm going, because my story is going to inspire somebody, right? And when you're being consistent every single day, you're building habits, you're learning skills, you're growing, you're inspiring other people with your consistency, right? And you can't expect your team to be consistent if you're not consistent.
So good. And I just love, everything that you're saying, like, you're like, I'm going to inspire, like, so many of us will hear our own story and like kind of minimize it, right? Like, we'll be like, oh, well, but no, like your story is going to inspire someone. Like these are the things that inspire people. And, I think that's the most powerful thing about getting to events and like showing up on a call like this is, guys, put like what number are we at? I don't know. Put the letter A. I don't even know what number we're at. Put the letter A in the chat if you are inspired tonight by, or you related to something that one of these ladies said. You're like, yes, this, like, I've been through that. I feel that. And I just love it. So listen, to wrap this up, I've got one more question for Renae. So one thing about Renae that you're going to learn, if you know Renae, is her like way of like explaining things and is just like unmatched. I remember when we used to work at TELUS, I was like, dude, I wish my brain worked like that. I don't know. She's really good at telling stories and vision and making you excited. And so I'll tell you, when I came into this business, I didn't know what a diamond was. Who's still a little confused about what diamond is? Honestly, put the letter, I don't know, Z in the chat. I don't know. Just put something in the chat. Okay. Some of us maybe don't even know. Like, hey, I know that there's a rank called diamond and I know that it's awesome. Okay. But what is going to get you there isn't going to be you knowing that there's a rank called diamond. It's not going to be that it makes you an average of $3,000 a month. It's not going to be that there's a huge bonus attached to it. Okay. It's going to be what the vision is for you of what will happen when you get there. So Renae, to wrap us up, can you just give us like somebody that, you know, you've been working for Diamond and it's like a huge milestone and you're on to double. What, actually, maybe both can answer this. Let's go with Renae first, Lyndsey second. Give somebody that maybe didn't even have Diamond on their radar. Why does Diamond make you excited? What is it going to do for you? What has it done, not just financially, but everything else included? And give somebody the vision of, you need to go for Diamond.
Okay, you definitely need to go for Diamond. Diamond unlocks the comp plan like no other and really just teaches you that this business is about helping others. It's about helping others completely. You're never going to reach this rank without helping a ton of people. And that's the most amazing thing about it, is as soon as you do it, you're going to teach the next person that they can have this too. But you want to unlock that comp plan. You want to be able to come in and use the comp plan like that we're so amazing for, that other companies do not have. And you really just want to like know that like whatever you believe Diamond will give you, it's something like what Jackie was just saying, like you want to think on it, envision it, like what is that going to do for you? Like for me, it wasn't just like, oh, okay, I'm going to make X amount from my phone. Like I could make money doing lots of things. I can make money running businesses. I could do money in corporate. But the thing is like nothing was going to give you the time freedom. Like nothing was going to allow me to relocate. Like nothing was going to let me decide when I, like, you know, my schedule, all those things are blending. And really you want to allow yourself to dream, because it is possible, but it's going to take a little bit of vision. It's going to take a little bit of thought. It's going to take a little bit of, you're going to have to give up some things. You're going to have to change your mentality a little bit, but it's so worth it. It's so worth it. Like it's the start of something so much bigger, because you know, you think it's going to be one way and then you realize, wait a minute, I'm now full-time from my phone. Like, what does that look like? Wow. Like that's just opened me up to so many other things that I can, you know, do because of that. And it's a very powerful thing that you don't want to underestimate. If you've got your hands on it, if you got a beat on Diamond, you want to follow through and get there. It's so worth it.
Yeah. You'll never look back and think, oh, wow, that took so, like, you'll just be happy to be there. You know what I mean? Like you're never going to look back and regret the work. But you know what I have looked back and regretted? Lots, just joking. You guys don't have enough time for that today. But I've looked back and I've regretted the things I didn't do. You know, I regretted not working hard, right? Linz, what would you say? What would you say for, that's a whole different Zoom. Yeah, you guys are gonna need to pencil in like 72 days for that one. Linz, what would you say?
So for me, I totally agree with Renae. Like, what you help, the way that you get to impact other people's lives on your road to Diamond, that to me is the most special part of the whole thing. And that is something that for a long time I didn't get. And I think that's part of why it took me a while, right? Like you have to grow into who you're meant to be at these different levels, right? But being able to impact your team and being able to help your team and being able to have the experience behind you to say, I tried this and it didn't work, so this is what I did. Or I tried this and it did work, so let's all do it, right? So being able to give back and be contributing to helping your team is huge. For me, freedom. Diamond means freedom. Diamond means the freedom to choose, right? It means the freedom to choose if you want to keep going to your job or if you want to do this full time. It means the freedom to be able to pay off debt. It means the freedom to have like savings account in case something comes up. For us, it's the freedom that we're going to California for 3 weeks in November, right? There's so many different aspects to the freedom. But to give you guys an example, because I stayed committed to this business, I spent my day working in little bits from my phone while I was at a doctor's appointment, while I was resting, while I was at the beach with Courtney, like doing just all of these different things. And the freedom to be able to say, I want to make my own schedule and I want to do this for the rest of my life. And I want to teach other people how to do this. That's what Diamond means to me, is it's the freedom to be able to dream bigger and inspire other people to dream bigger and teach people that, you know what, you don't have to suffer. You don't have to struggle. Life doesn't have to be the 9 to 5 if you don't want it to be, if you want it to be cool, right? Like if you love your 9 to 5 and you just want to do this on the side, do both, make a ton of money at both options, right? But to have the freedom to choose.
Yeah, it's not about the money. That's what you kind of realize is it's not money is just it's easy come, easy go. But options, freedom, like I think that's what brings happiness, you know, to be able to choose, right? To be able to know like this, I can make the choice. So guys, this has been awesome. You guys drop it in the chat if you're inspired. Really quick, I'm going to remove myself from the highlight here. What I would love you guys to do, I think one of the best ways that you can enroll distributors and attract people to your business is showing people that you have a community of people and that you're learning, right? Like I wanted to come in and I wanted to show people that I was learning and like being a part of something. Sorry, I'm just looking at how I'm like, put you guys, I just put it back and I'm like, okay, see you guys, just joking. Take a picture, you guys. I want you to boomerang that you're on this call. I want you to take a screenshot. Guys, just sit there and smile. This isn't awkward at all. Just hold the smile because 60 people are taking pictures right now. So keep smiling. I'll tell you when you can stop. Keep smiling. Keep smiling. Work it. Work it. Okay. And put it on your, sorry, I gotta chill. Okay. Put it on.
Who's cracking me up.
Oh, I just have to make it awkward, you know? What is it without it making it awkward? But seriously, guys, take that picture, share it on your timeline, talk about how you just got to learn from two amazing ladies who just promoted, and have good energy behind it. I'm super proud of all you guys, and I can't wait for everything that's coming. It's going to be bomb.com. So love you guys. Appreciate you guys. Super proud of you both. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Road to VIP Power Hour. I will show up to this one. Don't you worry. I forgot the last one, but I'll be there tomorrow. Love you guys. Bye.